Hi, welcome to Module 2, Week 2. In this lecture, we will continue to explore the implications of NAPLAN testing and discuss how assessment data can be used. Although some researchers and many educators believe that high-stakes testing like NAPLAN do not provide high-quality information for instructional purposes, ACARA and state bodies believe the opposite. According to Wasson, who wrote his paper back in 2009, at that point in time, the New South Wales Department of Education saw NAPLAN as driven by a rigorous, relevant and pedagogically sound curriculum framework, supported by extensive and relevant professional opportunities for teachers, assisted by sophisticated diagnostic tools for the analysis of individual, group, school and system performance, and accompanied by central and local consultancy support and high-quality support materials. Do you think this is still the case? Think about your context. What support does your school receive in relation to the use of NAPLAN data? What are other implications of NAPLAN? In a paper by Thompson and Harbour in 2013, the researchers examined how teachers perceive the effects of NAPLAN on curriculum and pedagogy. Not surprisingly, teachers reported that they either chose or were instructed to teach to the test, resulting in more time being spent on other curriculum areas. These effects contributed in a negative way to the class environment and to the engagement of their students. Sadly, this aligns with international research that suggests high-stakes literacy and numeracy tests often result in unintended consequences such as a narrow curriculum focus, a return to teacher-centred instruction, and decreased student motivation. Supporters of NAPLAN argue that the test promotes accountability and transparency, measures the basic skills that should be taught, and the publication of results via the MySchool website provides parents with the information required to make decisions about their children's education. There is also a common belief that testing regimes such as NAPLAN will improve the equity of outcomes and Australia's capacity for economic productivity by improving transparency and accountability, particularly via tools such as the MySchool website. Since the introduction of the MySchool website, NAPLAN testing has evolved from standardised testing to high stakes due to the fact that schools are perceived to be judged according to their students' test scores. The transparency of MySchool can and does influence parental choice, teacher and principal job security, and school funding. Unfortunately, international research has proven that accountability through testing has had little or no impact on student achievement and may have an opposite effect, influencing curriculum, outcomes, and pedagogies. Now let's look at how we can work with NAPLAN to cause positive changes in mathematics education. We need to shift the way we and our colleagues view data and seize potential to inform professional learning needs, intervention requirements, and resource allocation. We can use this data to focus discussion on teaching, learning, assessment, pedagogy, and the monitoring of student progress. We can't assume that simply presenting data to teachers will transform their thinking and result in school improvement. We need to encourage teachers to study the data and make connections between the data and their instructional decision-making. The Northern Territory Department of Education has put together a 5-step process for using NAPLAN data. Step 1 requires you to gather and collect good quality data from multiple sources. Develop a process whereby your data is well organised in a central location that allows easy access so you can review the data anytime. Step 2 is the analysis and interpretation phase. Interrogate the data in a supportive group environment. Aggregate and disaggregate the data in different ways and ask probing questions that reveal information about the students, the teaching, the resources, and the school structures. In Step 3, reflect to gain new understandings and decide on actions. Reflection after the data interrogation and discussions and further student questioning will reveal new knowledge and understandings about the sequence of learning involved in concept development. This will help guide decisions about changes or adjustments to the types of classroom approaches, strategies, and resources already in use. Step 4 is where we make decisions and commit to some kind of action. Leadership teams in collaboration with teachers should decide on which parts of the curriculum to target. For this, a whole school action plan that identifies, prioritises and schedules the professional development, structural changes and resource allocation must be organised. Leadership teams must drive the process and set up regular feedback to keep the plan on track. In the final step, we provide feedback to students so they are included in the process. Students should be part of the effective data use process by providing them with constructive, explicit feedback and supporting them to develop learning goals. Finally, it's critical that this process is ongoing, so when you get to the end, start back at the beginning. How does your school deal with NAPLAN data? What strategies can you implement to improve how data is used in your school? In this week's meeting, I would like you, if possible, to bring along a piece of NAPLAN data that we can discuss confidentially together. If you're not in a school or not in a position to access data, that's fine. We only need 1 or 2 samples to have a good discussion. In next week's lecture, we will be looking at some examples of NAPLAN questions where they fit in our curriculum documents and the strategies we can use to ensure students develop the skills they need to be able to address those questions with confidence.